Wednesday's release of 5 aid workers from Boko Haram captivity has brought to light details about the workings of these terror groups, the state of hostages still in captivity, and how negotiations lead to the release of victims. Premium Times newspaper reveals how Boko Haram faction ISWAP selects their hostages, who lives and who dies, and criteria for releasing captives. While the United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Callan, had announced that only 3 out of 5 victims released were aid workers, investigations now show the other 2 were security consultants working for NGOs. The 2 men hid their identity and claimed to be working for IOM and Red Cross to save their lives. This is because Boko Haram does not spare the lives of security workers, whether military, police, or private security guards. The terror group does not accept any ransom payment, no matter how hefty, to spare the lives of security personnel. Hostages are often abducted while transiting in Maiduguri. Aid workers are often prime targets as their employers, mostly foreign-based, are more willing to negotiate or pressure the Nigerian government to facilitate the release of their workers. According to the narrative of the rescued aid workers, these insurgents are often well-dressed in full military uniforms and kits and have members who speak in English to interrogate victims to ascertain their value. Also, female medical personnel are of very high value to Boko Haram insurgents. Reports say these women provide needed medical services while being condemned as sex slaves. Whether the government negotiates their release or not, it is a win-win for the insurgents. However, for any other non-medical professional, when the government fails to negotiate, they are killed. According to the Premium Times report, the release of the 5 hostages was a combination of several humanitarian organizations and security agencies led by the State Security Service (SSS). However, the main intermediary who facilitated the negotiations is Ahmed Salkida. Ahmed Salkida is a journalist who has written exclusive stories and reports about the Boko Haram activities and has been involved in past negotiations with the sect. But his relationship with members of the sect has also put him in conflict with security agencies, causing him to flee Nigeria at some point. However, Salkida has always stated that his relationship with the Boko Haram members is strictly professional. Though he refuses to give details about his full involvement in the negotiations, it is also reported that Salkida had to retrieve the hostages alone as the insurgents insisted on no security escorts. The hostages had been around Magumeri village, which is about 51 kilometers from Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. When reports filtered in that some aid workers had been released by Boko Haram, many hoped that Grace Taku would be one of them. Grace Taku is the Christian aid worker kidnapped in July 2019. Sadly, this was not the case, as she remains in captivity even as her 5 colleagues kidnapped alongside her have been executed. According to the released hostages, while kept in remote locations, they had met Grace Taku and Alice Loksha, a nurse who is also in captivity. They say Grace Taku had been forced to convert to Islam. They also revealed that a female UNICEF medical personnel abducted in 2018 has been condemned to slave status, forced to head the medical team at the camp where she provides medical care to the insurgents. While the release of the 5 hostages is being celebrated, this is also a reminder that so many more are still in captivity. The government and all agencies involved need to work fast to secure their release.